What's up, Bills Mafia? Another week, another chance for the Buffalo Bills to show the world who they really are. And listen, coming off that frustrating loss to the Patriots, a game where everything felt just a bit off, all eyes are now locked in on Monday night. It's not just another matchup. It's a statement game. A chance for Josh Allen and this team to remind everybody exactly why they're contenders, not pretenders. Now let's be real. When Josh Allen is at his best, it's not just good football. It's electric. It's superhero stuff. There are moments where he just says enough and puts the team on his back. And with the way things played out last week, it feels like this is going to be one of those nights. You can feel it building. There's been talk all week about the defense not being good enough, the offense looking out of rhythm, and frankly, not enough fire from the team as a whole. But if there's one guy who knows how to bring the fire, it's number 17. Allen's not new to adversity. He's 24-8 in games following a loss, and that's no accident. He tends to come out swinging, especially when the critics get loud. And let's face it, last week, he wasn't sharp. A couple turnovers, some questionable decisions, and a vibe that just felt off. Even when he led that touchdown drive, there was no fist pumping, no energy. He looked frustrated, beat up physically, and honestly a bit disconnected. But the stage is set now. Monday night, lights on, roof open in Atlanta. It's the perfect moment for Allen to put the cape on early. Not in the second half, from the very first snap. And if you're wondering whether he's going to run, he's going to run. 9 rushes last week. Expect more. The Falcons' defense leaves space, especially in man coverage, and Allen knows how to exploit that. And don't forget, there's a bye week after this. If there's a time to let loose, it's now. But it's not just about Josh. The Bills need to get back to what they do best, punch you in the mouth football. And that means more James Cook. Way more. 15 touches last week. That's not nearly enough. Cook isn't just a good back. He's explosive, he's dynamic, and he's been showing flashes of being a game changer. And now he's back in Georgia, where he made a name for himself in college. You think he's not hungry to put on a show in front of that Atlanta crowd? What's frustrating is the way he was underused last week. And yeah, we get it. Maybe the play calling got a little too cute. Jet sweeps to Dawson Knox. Trick plays? It felt like offensive coordinator Joe Brady wanted to show off. Big stage, prime time, maybe you want a little highlight moment. But this team doesn't need flashy. It needs effective. It needs rhythm. And rhythm comes from feeding your playmakers, your James Cooks, your Josh Allens, and letting them go to work. Cook standing on the sideline, itching to get back in, doing the body language that screams, "Put me in, coach." That's not a winning formula. You don't have to give him the ball 30 times, but 20 touches? That should be the baseline. Period. McDermott's comments after the loss said it all. He didn't name names, but he made it clear. The Bills got away from who they are. They tried to get fancy instead of staying physical. That doesn't win games in the NFL. It's like boxing. If you're a heavyweight and your best punch is the right hook, you don't stop throwing it just because the opponent knows it's coming. You throw harder. That's the mentality this offense needs right now. And let's not forget, the offensive line has been playing well. You got the line. You got the weapons. You got Josh Allen. There's no excuse for abandoning the run game because the other team took it away. No, make them stop it. Make them adjust. Control the tempo, wear them down, and let the run game open up the rest of the field. That's how you dominate. Now, defensively, it's time for some veterans to step up. And we're starting with Shaq Lawson. He's been flying under the radar this season, but quietly, he's played solid, smart football. With all the injuries piling up, and let's be honest, the injury list is insane right now. Shaq's leadership is going to be crucial. You got Matt Milano out, Daquan Jones, Damar Hamlin. The list goes on. But what Shaq brings is stability, experience, physicality. He doesn't just know where to be, he knows how to finish plays. Missed tackles have haunted this defense, and Shaq's mindset of get there and bring the guy down is exactly what this unit needs. And look, with a guy like Bijan Robinson on the other side, you better bring more than just a good first step. You need a wrap-up. You need numbers to the ball. You need grit. And Shaq's got that. He's had 11 seasons in this league for a reason. He's not just hanging on. He's still making an impact. He knows how to show up in big moments, and Monday night feels like one of those. Same goes for Christian Benford. The young corner has had some strong showings this season, but let's be honest, he's been good, not great. And this is the game where he needs to take that next step. Drake London is the guy he's going to be locked up with most of the night. And while London is talented, this isn't some unstoppable offense. Benford should be able to match up well. He's smart. He reads plays well. And with the Falcons quarterback struggling to throw deep, the opportunities will be there for Benford to jump routes, anticipate throws, and make a difference. Against the Patriots, Benford got burned by Stefon DIGGS in some big moments. And while DIGGS is a different type of receiver than London, this is still a test. A chance for redemption. A chance to show that he can step up and shut down a top option when the team needs it most. And honestly, I'd love to see him shadow London all night. Wherever he goes, Benford goes. That kind of challenge could bring out the best in him. And finally, there's Ed Oliver. Assuming he's back, which it sounds like he is, his return might be the biggest storyline of all. Because let's be clear, the Bills have missed him badly. Since week 1, the defensive line just hasn't had that same juice. Yes, some of the young guys have flashed here and there, but Ed Oliver is a difference maker, a playmaker, a tone setter. And this defense is a different animal when he's in the lineup. The Falcons have a solid offensive front and a creative run game. But if Ed Oliver is healthy and playing at full speed, he can blow up plays before they even start. That's what this team has been missing. Tackles for loss, disruption, chaos. And Ed brings all of that. Not to mention, his presence could take some pressure off guys like Russo and Shaq and let them play freer. With how banged up this defense is, getting even one of your core guys back makes a huge impact. And yes, it's been a rough season on the injury front. Nobody's denying that. But at some point, it's not about making excuses. It's about finding solutions. And getting Ed Oliver back on the field, that's a big one. This Monday night isn't just about bouncing back from a bad loss. It's about showing resilience. It's about identity. The Bills are still a team with championship-level talent. But it's time to play like it. No more playing down to the opponent. No more waiting until the second half. No more cue plays. Just go out there, punch somebody in the mouth, and take control. But even with the offense ready to reset and the defense starting to get key pieces back, there's something deeper at play here. This team has to rediscover its edge, the swagger, the physical, gritty attitude that used to define Buffalo football. Because right now, it feels like the Bills are stuck somewhere between who they were and who they're trying to be. That identity crisis has shown up in back-to-back weeks. Whether it's a lack of energy at home or letting the Patriots dictate the pace, the fire that carried this team through tough playoff runs hasn't been consistent. And that needs to change immediately. Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator, has been under the microscope. And for good reason. This offense has weapons. There's no excuse for struggling to move the ball or putting up points. Yet somehow, when the game gets tight, the play calling gets too cute. Trick plays, jet sweeps to tight ends, plays that feel more like showing off than winning football. And the truth is, this offense is at its best when it stays simple and aggressive. Run the ball with Cook. Let Josh Allen be Josh Allen. Get the ball out fast. And when the moment comes, trust your best players to make the biggest plays. Last week felt like a clear message from Sean McDermott, a warning shot, even. When he said, "We played the game they wanted us to play," that wasn't just about one game plan. That was about a mindset, a concern that the Bills are reacting to opponents instead of forcing the issue themselves. Against New England, that hesitation cost them. They allowed the Patriots to control the rhythm, control the energy, and control the game. And on Monday night, that simply can't happen again. This matchup with the Falcons might not look flashy on paper, but it's a dangerous one. Atlanta is young, physical, and unpredictable. You've got Bijan Robinson, who can wreck a defense in space. You've got Kyle Pitts, who's a matchup nightmare when used correctly. And you've got a quarterback in Michael Penix Jr. who's still figuring it out, but can absolutely hurt you if he gets into rhythm underneath. So the key for Buffalo is going to be aggression, not just in the trenches, but in every phase. That means the safeties need to play up. This isn't the type of game where you sit back in coverage and wait for a mistake. Because Atlanta isn't looking for the big, deep shots. They're going to nickel and dime, try to bleed you out with short throws and YAC. You can't die a slow death like that. You need pressure. You need disruption. You need guys like Shaq Lawson and Ed Oliver crashing lanes and collapsing the pocket. You need linebackers to shoot gaps and rally to the ball. And most importantly, you need sure tackling. No more one-on-one misses in open space. And while we're on the topic of pressure, let's talk about the pass rush. Because this has to be a Greg Rousseau game. No excuses. We all watch him, every snap, waiting for that explosive moment. And he's got the tools, the size, the reach, the burst off the line. But those flashes need to turn into finishes. It's not about hurries anymore. It's about sacks. Drive-killing, momentum-shifting sacks. If Rousseau can get home on a rookie quarterback in a hostile environment, that changes everything. You rattle a young QB early, and suddenly the whole offensive game plan tightens up. But again, it all comes back to discipline. You can't over-pursue. You can't miss your lane and give up big runs. Atlanta wants chaos. They want busted coverages and breakdowns. The Bills can't afford that. Not now. Not after 2 straight losses. Not with a bye week on the other side. Because if you go into the bye week on a losing streak to 2 very beatable opponents, that's a locker room that starts asking questions. That's when doubt creeps in. And once that happens, climbing back into contender status becomes a whole lot harder. What this team needs more than anything right now is a clean, convincing win. Not necessarily a blowout, but a performance where you feel the game was controlled from start to finish. Where Josh Allen looks like the superstar he is. Where James Cook is involved early and often. Where the defense flies around, gets off the field on 3rd down, and forces a turnover or 2. Something that reminds everyone, including themselves, that this team still has championship DNA. Because the truth is, the AFC is wide open. Teams are taking hits left and right. Contenders are dropping games. The window is still there. But windows don't stay open forever. This season can't be about what could have been. It has to be about what they're going to do. And it starts with execution, with energy, with leadership, and most of all with accountability. There's been a lot of talk recently about how injuries have affected this defense. And sure, it's true. Missing guys like Matt Milano, Tre'Davious White, and Daquan Jones is no small thing. Those are foundational pieces. But every team in the league is dealing with something. The Bills have enough depth, enough talent, enough coaching. They just need to get back to trusting the system and playing fast. No more second-guessing. No more waiting for the other team to dictate how things go. And while the defense gets healthier, this is where the offense has to carry the weight. This is Josh Allen's moment. This is his team. He's the engine, the leader, the guy who can make the difference in any game. And he knows it. When he plays confident and decisive, everything else opens up. Defenses have to respect the deep ball. They have to spy him on runs. They get stretched thin, and that's when Cook, Kincaid, and the rest of the weapons start finding space. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. In what is shaping up to be the biggest shakeup in the AFC East this offseason, whispers around the league have turned into an almost undeniable buzz. Stefon Diggs is reportedly leaving the New England Patriots and heading north to the Buffalo Bills. While official confirmation has yet to drop, sources close to team circles suggest that negotiations have been swift and surprisingly smooth, leaving fans on both sides of the rivalry in utter disbelief. The Patriots, known for their meticulous roster management under Bill Belichick, have long relied on precision and strategic acquisitions. However, the sudden departure of Diggs, who has been a consistent deep threat and a fan favorite, could signal a shift in New England's offensive philosophy. Some insiders speculate that the move might be financially motivated, while others hint at potential friction in the locker room. Regardless of the reason, the impact is immediate. The Patriots lose one of their most dynamic playmakers, and the AFC East landscape suddenly looks far more unpredictable. Buffalo, on the other hand, seems to be quietly celebrating. Diggs, pairing up with Josh Allen once again, could elevate the Bills into a new echelon of offensive firepower. Rumors suggest that the deal includes not only a lucrative contract, but also performance incentives that could make Diggs one of the league's highest-paid receivers this season. Social media has erupted with speculation about how this move might affect the division race, with some predicting that the Bills could now be the outright favorites in the East. Fans and analysts alike are buzzing with questions. How will the Patriots replace Diggs? Could this spark a domino effect of trades and signings in the coming weeks? And most importantly, how will this affect the fierce rivalry between Buffalo and New England? One thing is clear, this isn't just a signing. It's a seismic shift, and the AFC East will never look the same. The rumor mill is on fire, and every whisper only adds to the intrigue. Stay tuned, because if these whispers are true, we're witnessing the start of one of the most talked about chapters in recent NFL history. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.